Hey guys, what's up? So, it's time to talk about the mag changes that came with the Shrines of the Eidolon update. After playing and testing them for the past few days, they did take some getting used to, but they seem to be in the right direction. In my previous video, as well as some Reddit posts, I had made 6 suggestions that each addressed different problems that made mag far too difficult to be optimal with most players in mid or late game content. No matter what the changes are, so long as DE addresses these concerns, I think they would have finally fixed mag to be a WarFrame worthy of standing alongside Excalibur and Vault as a starter frame that can continue long into the game. The 6 problems that held her back were: 1. Anti-synergy between pull and magnetize. 2. Poor energy economy. 3. Lack of sustain, particularly against non-corpus enemies. 4. Crush taking too long to cast. 5. Crush not being worthwhile to use. 6. Passive eventually needed to be replaced, or sealing the fate of Univac. So let's go through the 5 changes that were made to mag with regards to the problems that I had raised. 1. Increased base energy from 100 to 175. This change obviously attempts to address her energy economy and is a fantastic change. At level 30, Mag Prime has an energy pool of 262, which is great for allowing her to be able to use her abilities a lot when at max energy. However, the problem with her energy economy also includes her lack of innate ways to regenerate energy. Because of that, I find that Energy Siphon and or the Xeneric Focus Score are still mandatory for mag to not be regularly frustrated with not having enough energy. So this change fixes half the problem. 2. Shards created by polarized scale of power strength and the amount of damage done to enemies. This patch note seems to be poorly worded. It's not the percentage of damage done to that specific enemy that is taken into the scaling of shard damage. It appears to be a percentage of the target's health, so your shards when attracted to a magnetized bubble do more damage as a number when the shard comes from a high health target than a low health target. This change is a bit of a weird one, as in my experience with mag I almost never took the shards into account, possibly because they only used to do 50 damage regardless. Even now, I don't find shard damage to be quite noticeable, especially versus high level Grineer in a magnetized bubble. Of course, my experience may be skewed too far away from noticing shard damage, as I regularly use a bow with mag instead of say a shotgun or an assault rifle, so my use of magnetize is to quickly dispatch a specific target rather than as a bubble of damage over time. And even when I see the damage over time, my arrows are providing an overwhelming amount of that damage anyway. This change does not address any of the problems that I raised, but since it is essentially a damage buff, I don't see a reason not to call this a good change, but I just won't call it a great change. 3. Polarizes augment changed from shield transference to counterpulse. This of course was a necessary change, specifically because of a crush change that I will be talking about soon. Counterpulse is an interesting augment for Polarize, as it gives mag some additional sustain, to some extent. Being able to effectively stun any enemies with guns or robots for a short period of time is actually quite strong. The 4-second duration baseline is actually alright. With the utility mag build that I am currently trying to make work, I stun enemies for around 6 seconds, which is quite good. For comparison, Mesa's shooting gallery ability, her 2, has the same stun duration. On virtue of what it does alone, I would say that this new augment is a great new augment that will probably be a staple in mag builds. 4. Crush animation slightly sped up. When they said slightly, what they actually meant was greatly sped up. One of the changes that I asked for was to have Crush's casting duration under the effects of the Natural Talent mod to be made baseline, and as far as I can tell, that appears to have actually gone through. So of course this is an awesome change and obviously fixes one of the problems I've highlighted. However, a hilarious side effect of greatly increasing the casting speed of Crush is that now her other abilities feel a little slow, even though they actually are not. Also, when you apply Natural Talent to this faster Crush, the Crush animation itself is so fast that the special magnetic effects can't keep up. If you're not worried about the casting speed of your other abilities, then there is no need to use Natural Talent on mag anymore. 5. Crush replenishes and provides overshields for every enemy affected per damage instance. I still maintain that thematically this idea is ridiculous. Crush was always a damage and control ability, the description doubles down on it. The idea that Crush can regenerate shields makes no sense. However, as a change, this is actually really nice and makes Crush worthwhile to use, whilst increasing mag's survivability against Grineer, Corpus and Infested, since now you can gain shields from attacking anything. Coupled with the previous crush casting speed change, this is a great change and I really like it. However, number wise I think it's a little too low. With my current utility build, I am currently getting 27.25 shields per hit, but it's still too slow. So I think the amount of shields you get needs to be bumped up a bit. I think something like 35 or 40 per enemy per damage instance should be enough to work with. So those were the changes that have currently come to MAG as part of the Shrine of the Eidolon patch. Of the 6 problems I highlighted, 3 were directly addressed to satisfaction and 1 was half addressed to satisfaction, meaning the anti-synergy between Pull and Magnetize and the inevitable redundant trait are really left for DE to look into if they are interested in further redevelopment of MAG. But 3.5 out of 6 is a pass, so for the most part I am happy about the changes that came to MAG. They certainly open her up to a lot more build diversity. We've finally reached a point in WarFrame's existence where high duration MAG is a legitimately viable option. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, hit the like button. If you're new to the channel, perhaps consider hitting the subscribe button. And until next time, I will see you guys later. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.